Joining me now is celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, let's start with Prince Harry. An insider has confirmed to royal expert Rob Shooter that Prince Harry is now charging a small fee of $50,000 US. Doesn't sound small, but it is for a prince. This is for speaking appearances. This is a far cry from the millions he was charging per speech when he and Meghan ditched the royal family back in 2020. It sounds like the Duke's rivers of gold have dried up, Kinsey.
I mean, actions have consequences. I really have a hard time taking someone seriously that quits nearly everything he starts, doesn't get along with anyone in his family, and casually and enthusiastically discusses their drug use. Truly, what does Prince Harry bring to the table? I mean, it's that royal proximity, which, thanks to Jeffrey Epstein, has even taken a hit. I'm surprised anyone would pay him anything. Seashells.
Now, historian and author Andrew Lowney has said that King Charles should abdicate and hand the throne over to Prince William to save the monarchy and wipe the slate clean amid the continuing fallout from the Epstein files. Here's what he had to say.
Do you think that the clamour could literally end King Charles's reign?
Yes, I think it could. I mean, I think they seem unable to learn the lessons of the past. They've tried to shut the story down for years to the extent of issuing legal threats against journalists, strong arm pressure to deny them access to royal interviews, etc. So the king has known about this. The Queen protected Andrew. The easiest thing would be for the king to abdicate.
Kinsey, there is widespread dissatisfaction with how the palace has dealt with this. They've known about some of these allegations for around 15 years or more.
You're right. I mean, people are very angry. There are certain people within the palace that have known about the allegations for quite some time. But are those people angry with the appropriate monarch? I spoke to Tom Bauer today, author of Rebel Prince, about King Charles, who told me that Charles has never gotten along with Andrew. They were never close. He would have no reason to know what Andrew was up to behind closed doors, who he was associating with. This is an inherited mess, and the Queen's advisors should have done a better job of protecting the future of the monarchy by being more ruthless towards Andrew sooner. I really have sympathy for the king here.
You would think the future king would be briefed about these sorts of allegations. If people were coming forward and threatening legal action, were saying these rumours were circulating, surely the future monarch would be advised, given that at some point they're going to be taking on this responsibility. It seems a very bizarre way of running things at the palace. Joe Rogan, on the other hand, has revealed that in 2017 he received an unwanted invitation to meet Jeffrey Epstein via one of the guests on his show. Here he is discussing what happened with Cheryl Hines.
I'm in the files for not going because Jeffrey Epstein was trying to meet with me. This was like 2017. One of my guests was trying to get me to meet him. I was like, are you high? Like, what the are you talking about?
Joe Rogan is a long way from the former Prince Andrew. He could not be tempted to meet with Epstein, Kinsey. I don't think Joe Rogan is the type of man who can be bought or is susceptible to the likes of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, and this is just a friendly reminder that just because someone is mentioned within the DOJ email drop, it doesn't mean they're actually guilty of anything Epstein related. He was pursuing a relationship with Rogan. Rogan wasn't interested, and Rogan is there still name dropped. I'm so glad he told that story to put that distance between him and the convicted sex offender, because some people can't separate fact from fiction, and these documents have made people crazy.
Absolutely. And the same, you could argue for Donald Trump. His name's in the files, but it's in the files confirming that he was talking to authorities about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, encouraging them to investigate and charge them. This was before Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of being a pedophile. Okay, Kinsey, let's talk about the Winter Olympics. And Norwegian biathlete Sturla Holm Lagerud has caused quite a stir after publicly and tearfully admitting to cheating on his girlfriend following his bronze medal win. He had plenty to say, Kinsey? Do we know much more about the status of this relationship? Has the ex-girlfriend taken him back?
Absolutely not. She's not buying the grand gesture. The Olympic medalist's ex says it's hard to forgive after his cheating, accusing him of turning their breakup into an Olympic spectacle. According to the tabloid VG that spoke to her, she stressed she wanted to remain anonymous. She says even a worldwide declaration of love isn't enough to repair the betrayal.
Good on her. I've got to say, I don't know who this woman is, but I am a fan. And I had to look online at some of the commentary, and I've got to say the sisterhood are telling her to stay away because this guy could not stay faithful, Kinsey, for even 3 months. He explained in depth what happened here. Apparently met the love of his life 6 months ago, cheated on her within 3 months, and she kicked him to the curb. Now, I want to ask you about the TV ratings around the Super Bowl. We heard a lot of fake news about it being the most watched halftime show ever, but that doesn't seem to be accurate because there seems to be quite a dip in the audience numbers. Nearly 10 million people stopped watching the Super Bowl during the halftime show. Tell me about what these figures reveal, Kinsey.
Yeah, I mean, the halftime show fumbled. Samba TV specifically reports only 26.5 million households watched, down 39% from last year's Kendrick Lamar set. Footage from inside the stadium, which I know you've seen on social media, shows a crowd that appeared very underwhelmed. And analysts noted viewership dropped to 88% during the performance, suggesting a notable chunk of the audience tuned out. And that's one of many organizers of these types of statistics. I just think it's the most significant one.
Now, Kinsey, Jill Zarin, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I've never heard of her, I've got to say, but she was left stunned by her sudden firing from E's upcoming reunion series, The Golden Life, after she savaged Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance, branding it the worst halftime show ever. How can that get you sacked? Surely you are entitled to that opinion.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this new E! show is basically it's a reboot of The Housewives from Bravo. I'm actually pretty shocked by this story. Reality show housewives aren't necessarily known for socially acceptable behavior. These are the same women that flip dinner tables over. And a source close to Jill asked, if someone was offended, why couldn't this have been a teachable moment for the program? Why couldn't this have been a storyline? I completely agree. We don't debate anymore. That's not healthy. This woman was just fired for saying what half the country was complaining about. And I think it will hurt this reboot.
Well, if it's the same mob behind the Housewives franchise, I'm not shocked because they are super woke, super left, and obviously they don't tolerate a diversity of views. Kinsey Schofield, thank you so much for your time tonight.